Everybody. It's that time. The good news, the bad news, and the other shit. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a crazy world out there, and you just have to recognize that that's the time that it is. The president is crazy. The president is crazy, and so you're just going to have to accept that he is crazy. You never know what's going to happen. Every day is getting worse, and that is because you're entering the next to the final phase. You've already had the political side at least begin to take shape. It's just beginning to take shape as the Democrats now begin to struggle on their own over the power and direction of the whole Democratic Party, because there's already some issues with that, with the newly elected people coming in, attempting to move on their platforms to change, and then running into the old guard at the Democratic Party, much in the same way that the Republicans had to deal with the Tea Party. So you're seeing that happen in the Democratic Party now as intense struggle begins over who's going to run what. All of that takes effect really January 1st, so you have a little time for that. As much as you like to think about things happening, the control and the power still, for the most part, exists with the Republicans until the first of the year. Okay, but things can begin to happen, and how they initiate those things varies from place to place, committee to committee, even though you can know that it's happening. So the president, seeing all this, knows he's surrounded. But remember, I told everyone, and I will remind you over and over, to separate out some of the issues. The president, because he's fighting everything, is going to mean that it's going to drag through. You're going to, at some point, most likely have the Supreme Court involved, because from what we're understanding, what's happening now that you're seeing in public is just the tip of the iceberg of what's happening in private as decisions are being made about the president testifying, not testifying, responding to unwritten things, and whether or not he will be subpoenaed. All these things are going on behind the scenes, and that's part of the president's fury, his fire, what's driving him crazy, is these things going on behind the scenes, because I remind you again, all these people have already been brought in. They have Manafort. They have Rick Gates. They have his dad's the man who did the finances all the way back to his daddy. They have Michael Cohen. There's a bunch of stuff they had, so they're gonna, and they've already interviewed Hope Hicks and Reince Priebus and all the boys and everything. Mm-hmm. So stuff's about to jump off. The elections have occurred. So every week as it approaches Friday, I'm excited about what may happen, because you're at that point. But let me remind you, because that's not just it. The president's going to fight everything, everybody, but remember, the president's people are not subject to the same privileges. Donald Jr., Jared Kushner are in deep shit. And specifically, this is the things we talked about, that if the president has to watch his family be unraveled right in front of him, and also watch his family finances, because the investigation to those finances is ongoing. Remember, they already have all the people. Remember, they have all the people. You're getting ready to see the shit. So, regardless of what they do to Donald, they're going to get Donald Jr., they're going to get Jared Kushner. These people are going to be forced to come in. They're going to be subpoenaed. Ivanka may be subpoenaed. So he's going to have to watch his family go through the mill. This is going to happen. They are not subject to the same privilege. And so we're going to get to watch that. The president is going to see that too. You are going to see that. Because part of the issue of the president fighting everything is there is no sparing the American public of the shame. You know, in the past they would say, in order to spare the public, we just resign. People just resign to spare the public. Well, this time they're not going to spare. They're not going to spare the public this time. He's not going to resign. He's going to fight everything. So the public's going to have to endure everything, which is great. I think that's great. I think it's wonderful that the public endures everything totally, full, 100%. So the president's going to fight everything, and so they're going to fight back. And while they're doing that, you're going to have to endure the spectacle of his family being indicted, potentially going to jail, okay? You're going to watch his family finances be inspected, scrutinized, and irregularities that are found there further investigated. Remember, I've told you in my predictions in my show of 5/22/17, I predicted Donald Jr. would do jail time. Go and watch that episode. The president is getting crazy because he's a cornered animal. He's also stupid. The one thing that we benefit from is his stupidity. The same thing that tortures us, we benefit. He's so stupid that he doesn't realize how really bad this is. See, that's part of it. Because he's freaking out. And if he was really smart enough to understand how bad it was, he'd be freaking out worse. He'd be freaking out worse. Just like his people, his kids would be thinking, but this is my trust fund. My trust fund may have to go. So it may have to go. Trust fund may have to go because the president is tripping. So I don't know.
So the greatest reality show is still the greatest reality show anybody's ever experienced in politics right now.
You're exactly right, Vic. The greatest reality show is still the greatest reality show.
Yeah, you got to ask yourself, if you have to ask yourself, what is the most difficult experience Donald Trump has ever had? And then just use that as a reference to, and equate it to something. You end up going, well, wait a minute. What is the most difficult thing he's had to overcome outside of somebody suing me, landlord, rent control, all these other things that come up? Take it to the court, let the lawyers fight it out. So if you step out of that area, is there anything?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No,
I don't know his history so much like a bunch of other people do.
Yeah.
But you wonder. The president came to California just recently to inspect the damage from the fires. Here's a picture of him touring. Watching Jerry Brown and the president.
Protocol.
And you could tell,
Protocol.
Oh, God.
Where's the rake? Where's the rake, man?
Where's the rake? So the president made this statement. Okay, I don't have a picture for that. No. So the president made this statement about Finland, which is, I understand, the whole country's about the size of Texas.
Correct.
The whole country. Not the size of the United States. And that they have a whole issue that they handle forest issues and overforest, growth otherwise, so they don't have forests. So he said in Finland they do it by raking the forest. And all the people in Finland came out, no, we do not rake the forest.
Yeah, man. Hey, man.
We rake some of the fields.
I'm sorry.
But they no, we don't rake. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. And then the other people, like I said, all the people in Finland, all over Twitter, you guys, just go look.
I'm not. Okay.
All over.
I'm not looking, man. Look.
They rake the forest. First of all, who rakes the forest? See, that's my thing. If they do rake the forest in Finland, who? They just all get out there like rake the forest day? Or they like have a special rake the forest budget? Now, the thing that's been so bad in California was as the president railed about forest management, he didn't realize that forest management 90% of those lands in
Fed.
California are under federal
Fed.
control, which is affected by the budget he cut.
So he has all the rakes.
Right, so he has all the rakes. 90% of those lands in California are controlled by the feds and budgets he cut.
Where's the rakes?
And so where's the rakes? But the president's out there. So I'm glad, I want you to know, he's out there touring. I think here's another scene of him touring the disaster. There's a flag, and he's touring.
Now, unfortunately, and I'm
don't
praying that this doesn't happen. I'm praying that it doesn't happen, but it can. The rains are coming.
Oh,
when the rains are
God.
coming, there's going to be runoff. It's going to start this week, and it's going to go into even heavier rains, I think, next week. So you know what happens when you have all that brush and it's all burned. So you know what's coming. And we just have to hope for the
Let's
best.
pray some more.
Yeah.
Let's pray some more.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, the Democrats supposedly, as they get their agenda, one of the agendas that they're supposedly working on is changing a 181-year-old rule that prevents religious headwear. That will allow some of the newly elected Muslim. It's amazing that, you know, the Jewish folks never, I guess, felt compelled to wear their yarmulkes.
Right.
But so now the people who have other kinds of religious headwear, you know, what about if someone was a Sikh or something else? Now they're moving to make that possible.
Oh,
So
okay.
let's give them up, hands up.
Oh, yeah.
I
yeah.
know. Yeah, they had it against. They always have rules against what's not your shit. They never have rules against their own shit. They have rules against the other people's stuff. So that's the way that.
So when these super, rich people come from various countries, and say if the Saudis came here, when they go to Washington, they get to wear their traditional stuff. It's no question. There is no
Oh, they
protocol.
probably break the rule. I don't know because with this, I don't know that much about the rule.
Not
but
the
if they have a
princes.
guest into the Congress,
Royalty,
do they get to wear if they get to sit in the
That's
back.
right.
I don't know. Vic can see Victor Allen with his skill of detective-like wit has unearthed a new controversy, ladies and gentlemen. Just as I'm saying, Victor Allen has done. Look, take a look. Everybody clap. Victor Allen, Detective Vic.
Wait a minute.
Detective Vic, everybody give it up.
It must be a standard. It must be you have to have at least, 20 million, 30 million, 50 million. There is no, clothing protocol because you are rich or you are.
When you're rich, you have no rules.
And you make the rules.
All the rules change.
Yeah.
When you're rich. They even sometimes they put that in the rule.
Yes.
This does not apply to rich people.
Yeah.
Got to give a shout out of love to the San Francisco 49ers cheerleader who continues to support and protest by kneeling. Take a look at her. There she is kneeling, everyone. And I'm in love. I don't know. I'm thinking about my children right now.
But it has nothing to do with the protest.
Yeah, because I love women that protest. Look at her. By the way, the one on to her right's not bad either. Just saying.
I think I'm going to challenge you.
I'm trying to keep focused, but it's hard. I'm getting older.
I think I'm going to challenge you. I believe they were doing a routine, and all the other girls forgot to kneel.
Yeah, well, maybe it is.
You
Once again, Victor Allen, a nurse. The detective. Detective Vic, everybody.
I'm just saying.
Give it up, Victor Allen. He sees. He sees, and yet he knows.
Benefit of the doubt, man.
I can be fooled, but Vic, I thought she also was getting in position to greet me. But who knows?
Nope.
No, it's all possible.
Forgot the routine.
I tell you, everybody. So anyway, what can I say? All right. So that's the way the news has been today. Everyone, where is my controls? Everybody. The president's crazy. Watch out for what's coming. Nutty ass president.